How's it going, guys? Kelly here, back again with another discussion video on Gwen's matchups. I feel like the meta has drastically changed, so we can talk about these again, as well as my opinions. If you learned something new, like, sub, comment. If you have any questions at all, feel free to come to twitch.tv/KillaG, and I'm willing to answer any questions you want. Alright, so let's get started. I do have the other matchup tier list I made as a reference, but a lot of matchups I think are going to be different. So, Aatrox, let me get something out of the way first. Gwen is a super late game, Gwen is a super great scaling character that is going to excel at 3 items. So most characters, even if they're in the you can't win category, you're going to outscale them. This is just about laning phase and mid game, because the characters will always get outscaled. There might be 1 to 2 that I mentioned, it's like, oh, they outscale you. But there's very few characters in League of Legends that actually beat Gwen at 3+ items. So I just wanted to get that started. But what I'll do is I'll state what character, put them in the matchups, and then I will give potential rune setups that you can go to make the lane easier. If they're in free lane, you can literally run Hail of Blades Gwen and you're probably gonna win. Gwen favored. Here, I'm gonna add one more to the bottom. Or let's do it like skill match, like in between skill matchup. Oh, add row below. Alright, here, we'll put skill matchup. And then volatile. I think I spelled that right. Time to double check with Google. Yes, I did. Let's go. The League player knows how to spell shit. Oh, never mind. League player doesn't know how to type. Okay, let's get started though. So, Aatrox. If you guys watched Worlds, you might be a little confused why I'm doing this, but it is a skill matchup. If not skill, then at least in laning phase, enemy favored. I don't know how the Shy messed up his laning phase that bad to the point where Gwen was winning at components, but at 1 item, Gwen will start winning, but before that, Aatrox is winning, so it is a skill matchup in lane. If it's before 1 item, it's enemy favored, but it's skilled until mid-game, and then Gwen starts winning. And then Akali will do... Oh, wait, sorry. Runes. I almost forgot my own thing. Very generic. You can run this. If you want to focus on scaling, you can go Transcendence Gathering and then be even stronger earlier. But this is good safe runes for if you're still learning the matchup. You can just abuse the Bone Plating timer, and then Overgrowth gives you a lot of extra HP in the lane. Akali. I used to think this was a skill-based matchup, but she's always just going to win. She's always going to win the lane phase if she plays perfectly. If you play perfectly, it's like this. But if the Akali player is good at spacing, you are never going to win the laning phase. She is always going to have a lethal range at level 6, so you have to respect her level 6 to 9 while she just double Qs the wave and potentially goes and roams and kills your mid laner. So it's very hard for you to win. What I would do for the Akali matchup is take HP rune, because I believe after level 4 it starts out valuing the armor or the MR. And then second wind Doron Shield by early game, because when Akali's nickel and diming you with the Qs, second wind Doron Shield is going to heal you out of her lethal ranges, so you will not be in danger unless you're level 6. That's when you just respect her, wait till like level 7, 8, you get some more resistances. You can invest money into Leeching Leer Blasting Wand if you want, or you can start the Nashor's strat like Zare does and try to boost your economy sooner, but have a much weaker time into Akali. Gwen OTP's second matchup tier list? Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that changed, so we're redoing it. And then Akshan. I used to have this. Or was this? Did I even put Akshan? I don't think I ever put Akshan. No, Tower is your BFF. This is one that completely changed, not because of Gwen, but because of the items. Doran Shield Second Wind has become so broken because Doran Shield got, I believe, 30 extra HP. So there's very rare situations where Akshan will ever be able to kill you or push you out of lane because you're abusing Steel Caps and Doran Shield. So Gwen is favored a lot of the time top lane. If it's mid lane, it's still this, because Doran Shield Second Wind is just that broken into ranged top laners now that you don't need to respect Akshan's kill thresholds that it used to have a few patches ago. It used to be here. Here. Tower is your BFF. Just for consistency. So yeah, it used to be here. Now it's here. Gonna head to bed now. It's been very late for me. Glad you stopped by. Hope you sleep well. Yeah, Second Wind, Doran Shield. You can go HP room because he does mixed damage. You're never dying to him. If the enemy comp has targets that you can't really get on top of and a lot of CC due to tenacity, but Second Wind, Doran Shield, Health Rune Overgrowth, he's never killing you with your W. Yeah, Quinn is exactly the same. We'll get to Quinn later, because I think it's even easier than Akshan. But we'll see. Who's next? I don't even know who's considered top lane anymore. Camile. I believe it's a skill matchup. It still is. There's situations where the Camile's going to be better and outspace you. There's situations where she's going to use her W very poorly, and you're going to dash on top of her, dodging the healing and the tipper, and you're just going to get her for free. Would you take Demolish for plates or Overgrowth more valuable? For Akshan, I would say Overgrowth Second Wind, because you're never really going to push a lane into an Akshan tower due to his amazing wave clear. But you're never threatened under tower anymore. That's why, like, you don't... That's why it's like this. It's like you're never scared of Akshan in situations. But, more Camile. You can run any setup you want. I would say Bone Plating, and then take Ignite if you feel like you need it. Otherwise, take a Ghost for scaling, because Ghost is always going to outscale in Ignite. Or, yeah, Ghost is always going to outscale in Ignite in fights. But in the 1v1 situation, Ignite is going to outscale the Camile. Who's next? Oh. You still can't win. You still can't win, guys. Doran Shield Second Wind, it doesn't even save you still. Someone in my YouTube comments tried explaining to me that I was wrong and that I'm just a bad Gwen. But here's the thing. I've been talking to Zaire, who is a 1k LP Challenger player that plays Jax and Gwen, and he has Cassio in the same exact situation, or same exact position. You cannot win as the Gwen player in laning phase or in mid game. If you survived well enough, you might be only 1,000 gold down, but this lane is so abysmal that it ruins your economy, and you just have to pray that instead of side laning, Cassio goes and joins really poor fights, and your team just doesn't engage on them while you're scaling back up, because you can't do anything into this character. But yeah, like MR rune, but Second Wind, Doran Shield, TP, Ghost, you're just praying that the Cassio is bad. Even Tenacity too. Take Tenacity for if she stuns you or you get put in the grounded state. Dodge when you see Cassio? Yes, but the problem is that there's a few other characters that are considered dodgeable too. Cassio, though, I would say is the one that you would want to dodge the most. But, oh, it feels so bad, because she doesn't get picked enough to ban her. But when you see Cassio, GG. Chogath, nothing has changed. It got even better due to the buffs and just the fact that the game is slowing down. You're just an absolute monster against Cho. You're designed to beat him. You can go electrocute or summon Airy. It doesn't matter what runes you take because your kit is designed to beat Chogath's kit. And you can do whatever you want with your runes. I love First Strike into tanks. You just go full economy if you want to strut your stuff. And you literally just can't lose into Chogath in the 1v1 situation. Darius, you are definitely favored. The only time you have to be scared is in the first 3 levels or so. Level 6, you're going to be able to kill him if you space properly. You have to make sure that you always save your E. Because if Darius pulls you while your E is on CD, he presses Ghost, and then you're dead. All you have to do in the laning phase is go Doran's Shield Second Wind, because his bleed procs will reset both of them, and you will be able to avoid a lot of the damage that the dot is dealing, and be near 90% HP or so. And then what you do is you go first item Rift Maker, and then you just straight up cycle kill him. He can't beat you at that point. All you gotta do also is take Ignite. You take TP Ignite into this matchup, Darius is going 0-5. So long as you survive the first 3 levels or so, you're never in lethal range. Because you are just holding your E for Darius E, because if he is gonna all-in you, you're going to use your E to either jump away, or if you see Darius press Q, you dash inside it as well. And then his Q does not apply a bleed proc, it does not deal damage. And you just get to hit him for free for a full, 1.5 seconds. Who's next? Mundo. Again, your kit is designed to beat Mundo. He can't do anything. Do what you want, just like Cho. There's not really matchup-specific stuff with these characters. It's just use your W if you feel like you're gonna get hit by a spell that might kill you. When you want to all-in, just press all your buttons. Yeah, tank matchups are mostly gonna go here. I'm thinking of one where it's maybe volatile or maybe skill-based or maybe here, but we'll get to that later. GP? GP's an interesting one. I do believe it's skill-based, though. So the reason that it's skill-based is because I would consider GP a ranged top laner. So you can run the second wind Doran's Shield setup if you want. I don't even think you need that into GP. All you're doing this laning phase is you're playing barrels. And if you watch Solar Baka, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, you're both just playing this mini game where you're seeing who is better at popping the GP barrels. Every time you win, you get 10 gold, right? And you would think, oh, so if you lose, you get hit by the barrel. But Gwen E can dash out of the range if you need to. If you didn't dash in, you still have it. And if you really feel like, oh, I messed up, I'm not going to get this barrel by the time you're swinging your auto attack and he shoots it, you press W on reaction, you never lose the barrel setup. He has a 22-second window when W's rank 1 to kill you, and that's where the skill comes in. Can GP find the damage to put you into lethal range in those 22 seconds? If you use W poorly, he's gonna win. If you pop all of his barrels perfectly and you're consistently saving your W for the most important barrels, you're gonna win. GP to me is Gwen favored. I wouldn't say, maybe it's just I watch Solar Baka too much, but a good GP will absolutely make it this, while a good Gwen, will make it this, while a good Gwen will make it this. So I think it is all about which player is better at their character. I do think that GP has to play a lot smarter, but I think a Gwen has to play a lot more reactionary. Who's next? Fiora? Is it Fiora? Yes, Fiora. If it's me, I'm gonna stay here, but Fiora, I think, is more skill-based. Yeah, I might be biased. I play against GP and Gold Plats, not Diamond Plus, yeah. There is different skills sets, like, if we're talking low elo, like, oh, like, pop the barrels, they're probably playing on 150 ping, but yeah, a lot of different ideas for this. And then just standard rune setup, you can run bone plating if you want to do the second wind Doran's shield setup, because you're a little scared, go ahead. Always go Alacrity, though. It makes GP barrels really easy to kill, because you can do auto, E, auto, and just one-shot them. But, sorry, Fiora. I think it's skill-based. The skill comes around, does the Fiora consistently proc your vitals? When you do your all-in, is she going to parry your 4-stack Q or your ult charges? Is she going to slow your attack speed the second you activate E, so you have basically no attack speed anymore? Or does the Gwen realize where the vital is and play next to the wall, or play in a position where she can't pop it? And then when Fiora ults, are you fast enough to either press Ghost and jump to a wall, hold your needles for when she panic berries, or are you going to ignite her? Because there are two different setups you can do. You always go these runes, I feel. Like, always these runes. If you're very confident in the matchup, you go Ghost. If you're unconfident in your skill set, go Ignite, TP Ignite. The second she presses R, hug a wall, press Ignite, you're going to win that fight. And the skill then becomes, does the Fiora realize that she's about to lose and disengage? Because you can't stick on top of her due to you having Ignite, but if she commits to that fight, you're going to kill her every time. Let's see. Gnar. I forgot this guy was a champion. I think it's Gwen favored. You just have to do second wind Doran's shield. You're never dying to the Gnar. When Gnar goes mega, boom. You're designed to beat him. It doesn't matter that his CC's like very polarizing, because Gwen can press W on reaction from Gnar W. And if it's max tipped, you're not getting stunned. If he presses R and you get stunned and he tries to full combo, you can just press Q4 after the CC, so long as you're high enough HP, and you're going to tank him, basically. But yeah, just second wind Doran shield again. A lot of these matchups have just become so much easier because of the second wind Doran shield buff. It's not second wind got buffed, but it's just the combination of Doran shield being buffed by 30 HP and second wind together just make lanes so much easier. Like, if you fight enough Gnars, you might even think here, because I've never had a problem against Gnar. That being said, my coach did play against a Gnar, and he does think it's like right here, but I don't know. I just think it's right here. Garen. Where do I even put Garen? He's always killing you level 6. Like, gods, man. Like, the Garen Worlds performance was just insane. I guess I'd say skill matchup. You have to understand when you're in lethal range. It's more of you understanding Garen's damage than you outplaying him. Because Garen is a very simplistic character. It's very telling of when you're gonna die, when you're not. So it's your job to figure out when does Garen have lethal, when does Garen not. And then when Garen doesn't have lethal, you press Ghost, R1, R2 for the slow, because he's gonna press Q to negate the first slow. Stick on top of him, you should find the kill, even if he silences you on the later stages of the fight. I would say this setup. And then I do believe you need to go Ghost. It's very hard to stick onto a Garen if he goes Phase Rush. And just in general, it's kind of hard to go into Garen and just stick on top of him. He's just a stat stick champion, but instead of being a tank, he's a bruiser. Coup de Grace. Yeah, you could run Coup de Grace. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't tested, so I don't know the difference, but I think you're absolutely right that you would want to go Coup instead, because if you're in max last stand damage, the Garen ult's gonna kill you, right? But it does start at 60%, so from like 60 to 40%, it's gonna deal its damage. But when when Garen is below 40%, you're dealing extra damage. So I think you are absolutely right about the coup, but just know that I haven't tested it myself, so I don't know the damage difference. Oh, let's see. Who is next? Why are they buffing this guy? Top lane only tier list? Yes. I don't believe there's a point in doing a jungle tier list because just your whole objective is to sack the first 2 dragons and scale. So it's like any jungle with priority or like early game presence is gonna beat you. And then if a character wants to do the same thing like a Karthus, like, yeah, you win, but then he has a 5-button R later, so it's like, there's not really a point, because it's like, oh, it's an even matchup because you both want to do the same thing in the jungle, or you lose because they want to actually play jungle while you just want to scale like a Master Yi. Anyways, back to Gragas. How's your BFF? He's gonna go biscuits, he's gonna go all the mana regen items, and you can never ever find lethal on him, because he's gonna go phase rush. He's gonna press E the second you decide to press ghost and engage, and then he's gonna bomba you into the jungler. If he's on that side, you're gonna die, you're gonna hate everything. This lane nullifies you. It makes it very hard to CS under tower because he has consistent Qs, so you can use your W on the first Q, and then the second you get into the backline minions, he's going to have Q up again, and you're going to take the damage, and oh my god, I hate this lane. But it's not unwinnable. The Gragas can run out of mana early game. You can survive a little bit extra if you want to yourself go biscuits and make it a little bit easier. Maybe something like this. Always go MR into this man. He's going to deal so much damage. And they're buffing him by making his passive come up sooner at later ranks. So I believe at level 6, 11, and 16, he's getting his passive sooner. So it's just an HP bar that's really, really hard to beat down. If you want to commit to the fact that, oh, hey, this lane is going to be unwinnable if I do this setup, but I'm going to scale way, way quicker and way harder, go for it. Just be ready to have the worst time top lane. Don't ever ask for help, because the second your jungler comes top, his phase rush comes back off CD and his ult, and maybe his jungler is even top lane. Alright, Heimer. I'd say this is another situation where Doran's Ring Doran's Shield second wind makes matchups easier. It was a very polarizing, or a very annoying lane where you just get perma pushed under tower and then you lose all your HP. But because Doran's Shield second wind is so good, you just kind of say, okay, that's fine, I farm under tower as a Gwen. Smile. It's like, I'm fine with losing priority because I'm in an island anyway. So long as your team doesn't play for Rift Herald, this really doesn't hurt your team. So you just kind of, it used to be this, but now it's this. It's like, it's really annoying. Will kill you if you all in him, but you don't have to all in him because you're Gwen. You're gonna absolutely destroy him mid-game, and you can just reactionary W to all of his abilities. It's just really, really annoying to constantly farm under your tower for the first 15 minutes. Illaoi. I'm interested. Who did I... Wow, okay. I'm correct. My past self is correct. You win this based on how good you are at dodging E. If you can't dodge E, boom. Or boom. But if you just dodge her E's consistently, Illaoi will always lose the game. Because Gwen is really, really good at popping tentacles. Because the tentacles are 2 hits to kill, you do auto attack E on a tentacle, and even if Illaoi E's at that point, the tentacle's gone. You're not losing much HP. If she ults, you run away, press W, gain some resistances so your soul doesn't hurt you as much. But that being said, you shouldn't even be getting hit by the E in the first place. If you are not confident in the matchup, take Ignite, so that way when she does hit you with your E, she's not healing a ton. But just go this setup, you're gonna win if you dodge your E's. If you don't dodge your E's, boom. So actually volatile. Dodge the E or dodge the game. Xpedu said it best. Irelia. Very fun skill matchup. It's all about your guys' passive stacks. So it's about Irelia's passive effect of 4 Q stacks, and it's about your Q 4 stacks. Whoever has 4 stacks is going to win the trade, and whoever pokes you down with their stacks sooner is going to win the fight and then win the lane. It's a very fun matchup once you understand when Irelia is looking to stack Qs. But if you just mindlessly throw out your Q at 1 to 2 stacks, you're never going to kill this Irelia. If you're using 0 stack Qs on Irelia and then she stuns you, GG. But same thing. If I start saying like same thing, I'm just not even going to show this, because this is the base rune page that you go. If you're against the AP, you go this. If you're against the mixed damage, you go this. So if I say same rune page from this moment on, it's just to this page. Alright, who is next? Hecarim? No. Nope. Nope. I wouldn't say Jarvan's a top laner, even though some people play him top. Oh, Jax. I think it's still enemy favored. You're definitely going to outscale him. I think Doran's shield bone plating is a necessary evil. You really, really like the Doran's ring, mana regen, and the damage it provides on the minions. You have to go Doran's shield and bone plating, though. This character has such high lethal ranges if you ever decide to engage him. But yeah, Doran's shield, bone plating, ignite with TP. You're going to be able to survive the laning phase, and then you're going to outscale him. Divine Sunderer. Honestly, it's not even the items, because at 3 items, Jax just loses. All you have to do after laning phase is cover whatever side lane he's pushing, because he cannot tower dive and one-shot you, so long as you took that setup and you didn't fall too far behind in the lane. Even if he goes Hullbreaker, you're going to be able to stop him. Alright, next character. Jace. Here, let me take a drink. Wait, what if it's blind pick and you face Gwen? See, that's the beauty of League of Legends. They removed blind pick. It's gone. No one can ever play blind pick again. So Jace, I used to have tower as your BFF. But now I think it's like either here or here. I sat down and I actually learned the matchup. And it's not the worst thing ever. Okay, but quick play. I mean, hey, GG. You should have picked Gwen as well. And then it's just... But anyways, it used to be here. I think it's here or here, because I sat down and learned the matchup. And when Jace chooses to go into the hammer stance, you're just able to all-in him. It's kind of like the Irelia lane, where all you do is you try to hold the 4 Q stacks as much as possible, and the second you see him hammer stance, you EQ forward, auto-attack, he'll get scared, Q EU away, and you're gonna win that trade. Because you landed a 4-stack Q E auto-attack, it's like... Jace cannot compete with that damage. Even though he's a lane bully, you're just gonna do Doran's shield in this, or Doran's shield in this, run Ghost TP, and just try to outscale him at 2 items. And it's interesting, because I say 2 items, because you start winning much earlier against this character than all these other characters. Because this guy, all he has is damage, so if you press W on his EQ, he is forced to Q auto-attack E in hammer stance, And if he's not running Phase Rush, you press Ghost and you kill him. Even if he does have Phase Rush, if the lane is long enough, after a few towers have been destroyed, you're just gonna kill him with Ghost. Alright, let's see. Damn, so many ADCs right here. Kayle. I still believe everything that I say about Kayle to be true. It is Gwen favored. You always are gonna outscale a level 16 Kayle. I truly think that Gwen is much better Kayle. She is better laning phase. She is better level 16. She is better full build. This character is just worse Gwen. And if you play Kayle, I'm so sorry. Because this character is in such a bad position in League of Legends. And she has always been since they reworked her. This is just Diet Gwen that has no lane priority against any matchups. Jay's only a lane bully because he can go ranged and melee, yeah. The second he goes melee, that's when you choose to fight him. Right, who is next? I keep losing my position. Okay, Kennen. I used to think this, okay? And then I sat down just like the Jace matchup. I found out that if Kennen is in auto attack range, you are always guaranteed an EQ on him. So all you do is do Doran Shield, Second Wind, and then an HP rune because he does mixed damage with auto attacks, and then his spells do AP. Oh, whoops. My bad. But you do this, you even take Tenacity for when he full combos you. This lane is so easy, and I'm going to convince as many Gwen players as I can that this is true. Because I actually sat down with a Kennen player. We played the matchup. Both sides. I played Kennen, then he played Kennen, and we went back and forth. The Kennen player never won. He would always poke down the Gwen. But then the Gwen would use Doran Shield Second Wind, and then he would just randomly die. It's not this. It is so easy. Another matchup tier list, love to see it, yeah. A lot of matchups have changed with the meta, and then just my personal opinions, so that's why I feel like it's a good time to make this, even though it's almost the end of the season. But hopefully some of you guys can queue up for the last like month or so and get some LP based off these matchup charts. But you go that setup, and honestly you go Riftmaker first, I feel. If you really want to ego it, go Nashers and then just deal with the poke. But Riftmaker will assure that you never ever die to his combo. And then the Tenacity rune is so beneficial for his full combo when he stuns you 2 or 3 times, I believe. Gwen gained popularity since Zeus. Yeah. Kled. I think it's volatile. I used to say free lane. I just fought bad Kleds. Whoever gets the first kill is probably going to win the lane. But I will note that the second you get steel caps, if the Kled isn't ahead, it's a free lane. The Kled has a timer of 1100 gold to kill you. And if he is unable to before you get steel caps, it's this. Because he just can't get Eclipse or Black Cleaver fast enough before you just become unkillable into him. So if you die in the first 1100 gold, you're probably going to lose the laning phase. But if you do get the steel caps 000, you're even XP. Boom. And then just standard setup, you just go bone plating, this. You know, I did say that I wouldn't show this again, but force a habit. You just go this setup, steel caps first item, and then you go into either Riftmaker, Nashers, depending if you want to split with the Nashers and scale up even faster, or you want to go for early fights with Riftmaker. Riven is hard. We'll get to Riven, don't worry. Oh, okay, I did play against Illaoi top last split. We'll just do this again. Actually, no. It's like, you much rather see her in the jungle. You always see her in the jungle, let's be real. I fought one Lilia top, and that gaslit me into thinking that it was a real pick. It's just annoying to have her on the enemy team. I'm not going to mention Lilia as a top laner. Malphite. This is one that a lot of you guys have problems with, but this is the same exact thing. It is a free lane. The reason that people find this much harder than the other tanks is because Malphite's E slows your attack speed, and it then, at that moment, if you choose to fight him, that's when you're making this so much harder. But all you do is you either outspace the E by walking forward, walking back, and the second he smacks the ground, you dash forward, and then you press Ghost, all your buttons. If he ults away, now you have 2 minutes to play the lane for free. But if he whiffs the E, or you dodge the E, you pop his shield so you reduce his all of his damaging abilities. And then you just keep hitting him every 8 seconds so he doesn't get that shield anymore. Just every time you see him press E, go. Run standard rune setup. Instead of bone plating, go second wind. But go Doran's ring, because this lane is so easy if you guys are willing to just play patient before or until he presses E. I haven't seen Maokai in ages top, so... Mordekaiser are volatile. Whoever gets the first kill is probably going to win the laning phase. I would say it's easier for Gwen, but that's just my bias of being on the Gwen side. Whoever gets the first kill is going to get the game, or the laning phase, and then take over that whole top side. I'm trying to think of very specific things you can do. I guess if he max range Qs you, you can press W. If he max range E's you, you can press W. If you get ulted, run away, don't fight him. Oh, one thing that's really, really fun, because they are revamping Mordekaiser R to not work on bushes anymore or invisibility, because you used to be able to walk into a bush to cancel the Mordar. Gwen should still be able to cancel it with her W, because it's not the vision that's the problem, it's that you can't target her anymore. So Gwen can still press W and just say, oh, no Mordekaiser R. And then just standard rune setup. You do want bone plating instead. If he has his passive stacks up, obviously don't fight him. If you have 4Q stacks and he doesn't have passive, obviously go for the trade. Nasus. Nasus, I think, is enemy favored. I think Wither is one of the best abilities in League of Legends. What do you think of Hullbreaker on Gwen? It's fun to do. I wouldn't say do it. I've been thinking of Nashor's Lichbane and Hullbreaker. That was the first video that really popped off for me. I think it's just kind of a fun niche thing to do in normal games. If Hullbreaker continues to be broken next season, I mean, I guess go Hullbreaker to match the enemies. But if the enemy isn't building Hullbreaker, there's not really a reason for you to invest in 3,000 gold for something that you're already good at doing. Like, Gwen's already good at split pushing. You don't need an enhanced cannon minion to get a tower that you wouldn't already have. Anyways, Nasus. Wither, best ability against Gwen. It's like, you press Wither, you honestly gain 2,000 gold value while Wither is active as the Nasus player. It's so hard for Gwen to deal with Nasus once he presses Wither on you. And he scales very well, so it's not like, oh, get to 3 items, you're going to push him over. It's get to 3 items and you're probably going to beat him, but you do need to play around Wither the entirety of the game. And if the Nasus has Wither off CD and he presses it on you, he presses ult, he presses Ghost, you're not getting away. Hopefully you have enough healing in your kit to survive his burst, and then once his Wither is done, you might be able to win the fight if you have enough inventory. You didn't talk about Ari LeBlanc top. Oh, you're right. We'll just put them together. Really annoying. I forgot LeBlanc top was the thing, and Ari too. We're just bunching these together. They're the same exact thing. Really annoying. High mobility, high mobility. Very hard for Gwen to catch them at any point in the game. And they're just really annoying. They're never really going to kill you, but they're just going to be constantly annoying, nickel and diming you. Saying, haha, look, I'm 10 CS per minute, you can't kill me. And then you're just like, haha, I'm 10 CS. I'm killing every wave that you push into me. And you just kind of get pissed and get nullified. And the reason it's enemy favored, even though you're nullifying them, is because they're nullifying you in the side lane. So you're not doing your job as a split pusher and killing towers because they're one-shotting the waves that you're trying to push into their towers. Thanks for mentioning that, by the way, Ari and LeBlanc. I would have forgot because I don't want to remember that they're characters. Orin, this is what I was talking about. I think that this is the hardest tank for Gwen to deal with because he does have lethal ranges on you. And they, at least for me, they come unexpectedly. If an Orin player were to pilot Gwen and look at the lane state, it's like, oh, Orin's about to kill me, and then they back up, they're chilling. But I really don't understand when this character is going to kill me until I get to about 2 items, then you straight up beat him. But just standard setup in the lane. Oh, also for these guys, second win Doran Shield is a must. Like, you're going to get nickel and dime to reset. But here, you just go standard setup. If you play good enough, you're going to win. But if the Orin's, like, godlike and has perfect lethal ranges, he's going to win. It's still always Gwen favorite, though. It's just the hardest tank for Gwen to deal with. Bro, Orin is broken. Orin's fine. He's annoying, but the Orin player has to really, really know what he's doing to win. Pantheon, I used to think this was a skill matchup. Now I think it's volatile, or even here. It's the same thing with Kled, where you build steel caps. So yeah, I'd say here, the Kled is the same exact as Pantheon. You go bone plating, you put all your money into steel caps first, and so long as you're alive after the steel caps, you're never going to die in this laning phase without jungle intervention. And then at level 8, you're able to just absolutely kill him. The reason why I say level 8 is because then you unlock your rank 2E, and rank 2E gives you a dagger's worth of attack speed extra. So once he presses shield, you ghost behind him, and you're just getting free autos after autos after autos, and he just can't soak up all the damage Gwen is dealing. Even though you don't have any AP invested early game, minus the Doran's ring, he just can't tank it like an Illaoi or a Malphite could. So if it's kill as Orin, it's still favorite. Yeah, if it's my Orin, oh, it's a free lane. My Orin is so bad. Yeah, just same exact as Kled, steel caps, standard setup. I don't know, Panth is Gwen favorite. Just hold your snip. So what you do is he jumps on you, he full combos you. If Pantheon full combos you, his instant reaction is, oh, Gwen's gonna press Q to deal some damage back. He presses E, you hold your Q. The second he lets go of E, you dash forward, auto Q, and then you trade back the same damage he just dealt to you. Olaf? Oh, thank you. Even when Olaf was the best top laner in the game for that, like, 1 to 2 patches, I thought it was skill matchup. I still think it is. Honestly, volatile. If you get a kill, you win. If Olaf gets a kill, he wins. There's not much each character can do to stop the other, because if Olaf throws an axe and is about to run you down, you press W to not get slowed, and then you just walk away for free. And then if he ghosts, you ghosts. If Olaf presses R to all in you, you run away to your tower, dash away, throw your ults. Even though they're not slowing you, they are healing you. So he just can't find lethal on you, you can't find lethal on him. Whoever missteps in this lane first is gonna win off of the 1 kill. Poppy. Okay, I take it back. Orin and Poppy. A good Poppy can make it feel like this, but a good Gwen can make it feel like this. And it just comes down to which one is which. It's not volatile, because even if one person goes 0-3 in the lane, they're still going to be useful against one another. Gwen's going to tank Buster the Poppy, Poppy's gonna press W on Gwen's E and make it so she can't escape or engage. That being said, whenever it comes down to a stat stick battle, I think Gwen will always win outright, so Poppy does need to play around your cooldowns way more than you play around her. She's playing around all 4 of your cooldowns, you're playing around her W. And then just standard setup, go bone plating, go Nashor's Aura Rift. It's personal preference. Do you want to split for it and get economy, or do you want to start fighting early in skirmishes or just win harder in this 1v1? Sorry if I'm losing my voice. I'm not used to talking straight, for what, an hour? It's been 45 minutes? Okay. Almost an hour. Quinn. I used to think it's here. Doran's Shield second wind, just make it here. I thought it might be easier, but it's literally just Akshan matchup again. Quinn's a little more annoying because blind, but get steel caps, when are you dying? And then get a ruby crystal if you're that scared of dying to ignite flash full combo. And then, oh wow, she doesn't full kill you, you reset TP, now she doesn't have ignite for 3 minutes, and you just kind of take over the laning phase. Are we at T's yet? I don't think so. Yeah, no, we'll get to Teemo later. But yeah, same exact thing. Are we on ours? Yes. Renekton. It's volatile. Same exact thing, you go standard setup, whoever gets the first kill wins, but the caveat is if Gwen goes 0-0-0 in laning phase, and so does Renekton, you're just gonna win outright. Renekton has to find the kill on you early, or else you're gonna outvalue him so much quicker than you normally should any character. But if Renekton finds 1 kill, you're gonna die 4 more times, and then your team's gonna get triple killed the second he joins a single dragon fight, and it's all gonna be your fault. So just make sure to never die into this character. Go whatever defensive stuff you need, either steel caps or HP with a ruby crystal. I never ever go for the leeching leer. Go ruby crystal blasting wand because it does outvalue leeching leer early game. That's the defense I'm talking about, not the leeching leer purchase. Bone plating versus him OP? Yes. Just play around bone plating, get steel caps if you're really, really nervous. If you want to ego him a bit, you go blasting one amp tome and you try to kill him early. Just play the lane out, see how he plays based on your movements, and you should be a-okay. Oh, this guy. Where did I put him? I used to put him here. Now it's here. It's either here or here. And this one is actually, like, accurate. Tower being your best friend just means put the minions where the bushes are not. So when you are top lane, you want to pull the minions as far away from the bushes as possible so you can see us properly. Level 1, from the start, grab the wave, pull it down to river. If he can't jump out of the bush, he's not getting value, and he can't really harass you at that point. All you're doing is playing a minion minigame. You try to put the minions where the bushes are not, and if you somehow find a push advantage into him, you shove that to his tower, and now he's not a character, because if Rengar does not have bushes, he does not exist. Flashbacks from yesterday, yup. But what happened? I would push him into tower. I would get a reset. I would have my gold. He would push the lane back into me. I would take the minion wave before it touched my tower, pull it to the wall from blue side, and hold it there. He could jump onto my minions and last hit the melees. He could never jump onto me, and I would trade back. And then once mid-game started, all he did was run like a cat between his legs, because I was able to decrease my deaths just a little bit. I believe I ended the laning phase 0-2. So you do have wiggle room, but if you don't play towards your tower, towards your minions, you lose. Riven. skill matchup. You go bone plating, tenacity, ignite. You're not gonna lose. Honestly. Yeah, I feel like this. Riven OTPs absolutely suck. The only reason I lost to my first Riven matchup today is because I pressed my D key when I thought Ignite was on it. Twice. I messed up igniting Riven twice. That is the only way she was able to beat me. So if you have fingers, unlike me, and then you press Ignite when Riven all-ins you, you're not gonna die. The only thing you have to do in this lane matchup is hit the minions and always hold 4Q stacks. Riven cannot play the game into you if you're holding 4Q stacks. Even at level 6, because you have bone plating ignite, you're going to be able to out damage deal her. It used to be, oh, you're in lethal range, but now I don't even think that's the case because I haven't died to a Riven level 6 in probably in this entire split. Even today, I didn't die pre-6. Right? Yeah, I don't think no, I did beat from the Illaoi gank. But in the 1v1, she can't kill you anymore. I don't know why. It just feels way easier than it used to be. Is there any more I can say? Yeah, no, it's just take bone plating ignite. I feel like Riven has to play so well. And you have to play so bad. That's how I lost my first game into Riven this split. I played so poorly by not igniting her in 2 1v1 fights that I would have killed her on. Yeah. We're making a new list below. Congrats, Rumble. You're your own tier. Permaban. I have never, ever found a way to beat Rumble in lane. You will always outscale him at 3 items, but the problem is that the Rumble lane is so difficult that he stalls your economy so hard that you're never getting to 3 items that game. This is the hardest lane for Gwen to ever deal with, and you have to permaban this character. If you ever see Rumble locked in on enemy side, pray that it's mid lane. If you know for sure that it's a top lane Rumble versus a top lane Gwen, you have to dodge. You have to dodge this. Try to circumvent your losses by going this and this maybe, and farm under tower best you can. Maybe even try biscuits. I've talked to Zaire, the challenger player I've been talking about this matchup. He doesn't know how to win. This is my permaban. I don't know what to do. I permaban Trin. Tryndamere is also a very good permaban, but the thing is that you can always get your economy into Tryndamere. So he's gonna go here. But here, it's like you can't get to 3 items, it ever feels like, because this character just shuts down your economy so hard. By poking you out, forcing you to reset on waves that you want to farm, but you can't. Because Arcane Comet plus Rumble E. And then it's like, oh, just press W on the Rumble E. Okay, so now his E is back up. You don't have W, so you're not allowed to walk up in CS anymore, so you're losing the minions. And God help you if the wave is in the center of the lane, because then what he does, while your W is CD, he walks past your casters, and then you're out of XP range, and now you're not getting XP. And then it's like, oh, let's just jump on him and use the minions to our advantage. And have minion aggro happen. You're still going to lose that trade. That's how good Rumble is into Gwen. He can soak 6 minions and still outtrade you due to his kit. Alright, Rumble rant's over. Post level 1 and 2. Versus Riven. Yeah, I just think Riven has to play so perfectly and Gwen has to play so poorly. That's the one reason I lost today. I had a 7-0 win rate on Riven tops before today. Now it's 7-1. I permaban Trin, didn't get much into Rumble. Yeah, if you at certain elos you will never see Rumble, so use your ban on Tryndamere. But I see enough Rumbles to ban the Rumble. I mean, I've seen a few Sejuani tops. It's just a tank matchup. Run whatever you want. She has very good gank setups, so it's more around... It's more you playing around the enemy jungle rather than you playing this lane, because all you have to do is know where the enemy jungle is, and then she can't set up the gank, and then you're okay. Set skill matchup. All the skill is around how well are you good at, or how well are you good at. I'm getting tongue-tied. Set punched my tongue and now it don't work. All you have to do is space around his E and then you will win the lane. If Set hits you and stuns you, you're gonna eat a full combo. If Set does a raw W and it's at the tip, you can reactionary W his W and not receive any damage. It's a stat stick matchup where the Set has to always land his E. If he misses the E, you get to play the game. But yes, standard setup. And good luck. Go Ghost, because Ignite really doesn't do anything due to his passive. He's just going to regen it all anyway. Even when he gets down to like 1 pixel, his passive is just good enough to out-tick Ignite. So just always run Ghost into him. Shen, very, very easy matchup. If the Shen ever decides to TP, you get all the plates in the world. So against Shen specifically, just go... Oh, sorry. Go this. I believe you take HP because he does mix damage. And then go Tenacity if you're really, really worried about Shen E. But Gwen can just use her E to dodge it, so if you're confident in your ability to dodge, go Alacrity. You're just going to run this lane over, and the second he plays for the team, you get to kill the entire enemy team in a few minutes, because he gave you 5 plates in lane. You can't give a Gwen 5 plates in lane. Singed. Okay, so we're putting him in 2 separate spots, okay? I'm gonna explain why. So Singed in lane, right? You can't win. Singed will always be able to outrun whenever you engage. He will always be able to out-damage you because you're running into his poison, and then the second you get on top of him and he's scared, he flips you into his pool, he roots you. Bye. But here's the thing. If a Singed player ever decides, I want to proxy Gwen for the entire laning phase, easiest lane in the game. Gwen wants the opponent to proxy, because if you're farming under tower safely, you're never ever dying. You're always getting the max amount of XP and gold, because Gwen's auto attack reset and Q make it so you always hit every single minion under tower. So he's giving you the free lane. No Graves top, no Graves top. I've never seen Graves top in my life. Or at least in the past 3 years. Or 2 years. It was 2 years ago it was played, I believe. So yeah, if the Singed is playing the lane against you, here. If he's like, oh, I'm gonna proxy to annoy the Gwen. Good. You're winning for free. This lane is amazing when he chooses to proxy, and then it's so horrible when he chooses to stay in it. And then just second wind for the hopes that if he does play lane, maybe you won't die to him, and maybe you can out-regen. If you think off the top of your head, oh, he's going to proxy, go Doran's Ring. If you think that he's going to play laning phase, go Doran's Shield. But that's kind of a 50-50 guess, so I would say always choose Doran's Shield if you're unsure. S.I.N, this is my favorite matchup in the game. There's nothing S.I.N can do. You are designed to beat him. If S.I.N holds a Q, you stand at the tip, make him think, oh, I'm going to get a fully charged Q and deal 500 damage. You press W, and then the S.I.N is so sad. If you have your E ready, you dash to the side or you dash behind him. Gwen has 2 abilities designed to stop S.I.N Q, which is all of his damage. Gwen with 4 Q stacks can always insta-pop the shield in laning phase. S.I.N's never going to find lethal ranges on you so long as you're not playing dumb. There's just nothing S.I.N can do. And then this is the setup that you want to run if you are just really feeling yourself. Because this is the freest lane ever. You go TP Ghost, and you just perma-scale yourself. Because when the S.I.N presses Q to one-shot your wave, you dash behind him, auto-attack, Q, auto-attack, auto-attack. You do 6 consecutive hits on him. You're going to get so much money with so little AP on him. And then Futures Market, if you enjoy it, it's one of my favorite runes in the game. I'm sad it was nerfed. But if you aren't a Futures Market gang member such as myself, go Biscuits or go Minion DMAT to maybe farm under tower easier with against the cannon minions. Because he will always push the wave under tower into you. You will never die to him. You will never lose CS into him. Because your champ is designed to beat him. Shyvana. I haven't seen Shyvana top in a while, but it is volatile. If you end up dying to her, you will always lose the side lane into her. Up until 4 items, honestly. A 3-item Shyvana that's ahead is most likely going to beat a 2 to 3-item Gwen. But at 4 items, she can't really do anything. 4 items, I'm thinking off the top of my head, being like Riftmaker, Nashers, Shadowflame Decap. If you're really worried about her magical damage and she went full AP, you go Force of Nature. If you're worried about her auto attack damage, you go Steel Caps. Actually, always go Steel Caps in this lane because it works on her Q twice as much because it counts as 2 auto attacks. So you're actually blocking 24%, 36%. I forget if it's 18% basic attack reduction or 12%, but works double effectively on Q. Just take Ignite if you're really, really worried about losing the 1v1, but you should be fine. This is a character that's very simplistic and stat sticky. And then just standard rune setup. I forget if I said that or not. Swing top is annoying, but you are gonna win. He never has the mana to really kill Doran's shield second wind, and then you just go mana rune. MR rune. Go Tenacity if he ever hits you with a E, so that way it doesn't root you as long. But you two are never going to really kill each other unless he's at your tower, auto-attacking your tower, and then you have Ghost up. That's the only kill situation that really happens, and it's for you. He never really has a kill opportunity on you, so... You're probably going to be farming under tower a lot. Just understand that no matter what, at 1 item, you always beat him, and then from then on out, you're going to beat him. Do go Oblivion Orb mid-game. If your team does not, you need to make sure that he's not jumping into 5 people and max healing. That's just one little, like, tidbit, like, caveat. Like, do spend 800 gold into this character. It is 100% worth it. Tom Kench, free lane, your character's designed to beat him. Standard setup. You can go first strike setup if you want into this guy. Same with Show. Yeah, let's order these really fast. Like, sure, like that. And then, obviously, Proxy. Like, you can go first strike into these 3. The lane just feels so awesome. Do whatever you want in it. Teemo. This is a very, very annoying matchup. But you still win. So let's run by what you need to do to win. Because once you do these steps, you will never die to him. Teemos, at least Teemos I've always played against, have always gone Grasp. The correct thing is for them to go Fleet, but if they do not go Fleet Footwork Ignite, he never finds a kill threshold on you. If he chooses to go Grasp Ignite, he's not going to find a kill threshold on you. Because Doran's shield second wind is just one of the best things in the game. Honestly, Health Rune. You want Health Rune. Do go Tenacity for his blinds, though. I've made this mistake multiple times. Alacrity does nothing into him. But all you do is turtle under your tower. Once you've once you've spent all your HP for farming, you recall, swap your yellow trinket for a red trinket, get level 6. If he's at your tower auto-attacking it, run him down like S.I.N. He can't get away from you with his W and Flash. You are always going to be able to chase him down with Ghost and Ult. The red trinket is so you dodge the shrooms. If you don't step on any shrooms, he can't get away, and then you get the free kill. Which bug? What bug? Oh, are you talking about the PvE bug where he can get like 50 shrooms off of an item? Yeah, no. Thankfully, that's not on live servers, but no. You just turtle, understand that this is really annoying, but I'm gonna get red trinket, level 6, and have my ghost up. You will always die to me. And then the second you get 1 kill, you can repeat. Yo, Killa, watch the new vid. We're so back. Glad you enjoyed it. Oh, Trundle. Where do I even put you? I'm actually looking over where I put him in the last video, because... Oh, do it? Yeah. Yeah, he's the stat stick champion that steals your stats. Really annoying. At 3 items, you're gonna win, but don't really trade into him. His passive, I believe, states if something dies into him, heal for 2% max health, so when 6 minions die in the lane, he's gaining a flat 12% max HP. Not to mention, he's gonna go Doran's Blade and then be auto-attacking the wave. So you're never gonna find kill thresholds. Just chill under your tower, stack your money up. Get a Cull, get Nashes. Play for side lane. When you're at 3 items, then he can't really deal with you. Trundamere. Very hard. You must run Bone Plating. You must go Armor Rune. You must pray that he does not know his damage numbers. Because if he pushes the wave under tower and you're at 55% and lethal range is 54%, pray that a random minion does not aggro you, because he's gonna see you at 54% and he's gonna kill you from anywhere on the screen. He can run you down with Ghost E and his W. This is such a hard lane. Even later in the game, it's very hard to kill him at 3 items. It is doable though, but you have to go Zhonya's into this character. This is a absolute must. You must go Zhonya's 2nd or 3rd item. If you're willing to play passive enough and just farm up with Nashers and maybe a Cull in the side lane, you can delay it till 3rd. Otherwise, I would say Riftmaker into Zhonya's into this guy every game with steel caps. You need to make sure that you're as tanky as possible into this character, and you need to stall as long as possible into this matchup. Zhonya's first. Oh, that feels so bad. I tried it with steel caps and steel arm guard rush before. It didn't feel good enough to do it. Your HP pool just isn't high enough to survive it, even though you have so much armor in the early game. How about Exhaust or Ignite? Ignite does nothing because Trendamir's sitting at 1 HP already. Exhaust I've seen ran, but you are sacrificing Ghost. So here's the question. Do you want to run away and dash away and have him auto attack you less so he has less E CD? Or sorry, so he has more E cooldown? Or do you want to run Exhaust so he's still on top of you, but he's not dealing enough damage, but his E's going to be off CD instantly, so even if he tower dives you, he dashes out of the tower and then survives? if you're only talking about Ignite versus Exhaust, go Exhaust, because Ignite literally does nothing into that character. I say go Ghost, though. Last tick of his ult. By that point, you're usually dead. I would rather just take a Ghost to run away from his auto attacks and make sure that we're both 0-0. If you want to ego play it on the tower dive and then ignite him on the last auto attack where he kills you and trade 1-for-1, go for it. Otherwise, I would just avoid giving him the 300 gold with Ghost. Yeah. Another thing is you do want to delay your needles. You want to throw them out as long as possible from one another, so that way you're getting the max possible slow efficiency against him, and you're healing as much as you can. But, oh my god, this feels awful. Udyr, I still don't really understand what to do. I feel like his level 1 is one of the best in the game because of Phoenix Stance Awakened. I really don't understand this matchup, I'm gonna be real. I did ask Zaire what he thought, but he hasn't seen my DM. But I would say at 3 to 4 items, you're gonna beat him just like any other character in the game. But there's not much you can do in the laning phase. He's gonna poke you down. He's gonna heal up any damage you do to him with Turtle Stance Awakened. It just feels not good at all. Udyr's FF. I wouldn't say that. It's just you're not gonna have fun. You're gonna be really annoyed that the second he presses Awaken Phoenix, he one-shots your wave, and then it's gonna track onto you, and then you're just gonna take a lot of damage. Because while you're CSing under tower, he can Awaken Phoenix and be poking you while you CS. So you're forced to press W, and then when the wave returns to neutral, you have to walk up for about 18 more seconds with no WCD. It just feels really, really bad, and I don't understand what to do. So, for the algorithm purposes, if you think you have a better idea on how to beat Udyr, write it in the comments section. Best item build for Gwen. The most consistent one is Nashor's Riftmaker, Decap, and then situational items. You never state like all 5 or 6 items, because after 3 it's down to situations. So it's like if you want more damage on shields, you go Shadow Flame. If you want more defense against AD characters, you go Zanya's. But those are the 3 best core items: Nashor's Riftmaker and Decap. I'm talking about top lane, by the way. For jungle, I think she's supposed to build Assassin. You go First Strike, Night Harvester, Protobell if you want, and then you go Shadow Flame, Decap, and try to one-shot them. But that's a story for another day. Urgot. This is a very interesting matchup. He will find full HP one-shots on you, but if you dodge the E, just like Illaoi, you're gonna win the trade. You're never really gonna kill him because of his HP and shield. But you go Steel Caps, you go Second Wind because he's more range-based. So you just try to regen out of his full lethal range. It's really weird to say that, but if you have Steel Caps and are full HP, you should be fine. Before Steel Caps, though, I think he might just always one-shot you level 6. I could be wrong about that, though. But one neat thing is that if you guys do a trade back and forth, and he tries to ult you from afar, you always just press W. You'll never die to his ult, so long as he doesn't knock you backwards with his E and then preemptively R you. I always play Nashor's Rocket Belt Lich, even if I hard stomped early of one-shot anyone. That's a good build to go. I just feel it's not the most consistent. I think League is very consistency-based, so you should always play for consistency. Dogface, thanks for the Prime of 2 months. Appreciate it. Now you're going to be in the video. Say hi. Volibear in the list. We'll get to Volibear. Vayne top. So, this is a range matchup that's super annoying. Oh, I didn't even list Vayne top before. Yeah, Vayne top was like fell out of favor for a long time. I think it's the hardest range matchup. If you die to her once, you're gonna have a not fun time. If she never finds a kill on you, you can do this really funny thing where you buy Banshee's Veil. This doesn't work as well as it is next season because you can just buy the component. But if you buy the Banshee's Veil, she doesn't have a CC ability. She condemns you, and then it fizzles, right? And then you use Ghost, E, and ults to just stick on top of her and one-shot her. It's really, really fun to do. You go Steel Caps, Doran's Shield, Second Wind for safety. And if you want to ego check her, you go Banshee's Veil and you're gonna one-shot her. It's so fun. The last time I played this matchup, I did die first, and I did get rolled. But that's why this matchup is volatile. Also, my jungle Gragas went top and gave 600 gold to the Vayne. I remember that now. That was a bad core memory to remember. How is Singed free lane? We talked about this earlier on stream. If he's playing the laning phase, you can't win. If he's proxying, you're always going to win because you're always getting the same CS as him, just under your tower. But Gwen's a character that's really, really good at CSing under tower, so you're never losing any. So you have the same exact CS if he is proxying. It is very, very hard to win if he is standing in the lane with you. Free CS, yeah. By Banshees get flamed by E-Girl Lulu. Oh yeah, that happened on EUS too. That was fun. We're not going to talk about Vlad top. Vlad top doesn't exist anymore. You do outscale a Vladimir, and you just spend your 800 gold. Volibear. I have had a really, really hard time playing against Volibear up until recently, but I think you do just kind of win against him. The Volibear has to play so good with his E, and then he has to always land E, animation cancel, stun Q to actually win the trade outright. But if you're just holding 4 Q stacks and then you either W his E or you dodge it, he can't win the trade ever. If you're both one item, just don't fight him because of his healing is a little strong. You do have, the only thing you have to play around is his W healing. The second his W2 goes on CD, you re-engage on him and you're gonna win the trade. So just play around the fact that W2 is gonna win him the trade. The second it goes CD, you retrade. And then just standard runes, bone plating, all the rest. Yasuo. No, I haven't fought any Yasuo tops in a year or so. Yone, enemy favored. The Yone has to play very, very properly though. If the Yone does not play properly and he misspaces enough Qs, you're gonna win. But this is a spacing matchup on both sides. If you're able to outspace him, he's gonna win. If you're able to outspace him, you're gonna go even or win. That's why it's not volatile, because if you space perfectly, he's still Yone with lethal tempo. He's gonna be able to chunk you out with his E and auto attacks. But like I said, for most of these other characters, 3 items, you're just gonna run him over. That's why it's so hard to make tier lists. That's why I did state at the start of this tier list, it's about early to mid game, because late game, all of these characters are gonna lose to you. It's like maybe Singed at 3 items will beat you, but it's so hard for any character on this screen to do anything to you at 3 items. Warwick, it's just a cheese pick. It's annoying. He's gonna win the lane. You're gonna be able to outscale him. You can take Ignite, but I don't even take Ignite into him anymore, because it's like, why do I care about Warwick bringing me to half HP if I'm chilling by my tower or on my side of the lane? He's never going to find a kill on me, so long as I'm just chilling. Go Bone Plating, Doran's Ring if you want. This might be a matchup where you can go Doran's Shield second win, because if he's auto-attacking you enough times, he's going to keep reapplying the Doran's Shield, and you're going to heal one auto-attack worth back, and you'll be A-okay. But I'm not scared of this guy anymore. I used to be super, super scared of this cheese pick. And whenever Gwen was picked, I would always play Warwick. But the thing is like, Warwick isn't even all that good into Gwen when you get good enough. It might be a little, like, confidence, like, a little ego-based to say that, but what does this character do outside of annoy you? Yorick, I used to have the hardest time into Yorick. I thought this was this, but like, only Maiden. Only when Maiden is on screen, this is hard. But Gwen can honestly deal with Maiden pretty well. I used to think it was impossible for you to kill Maiden as Gwen. The more I play the matchup, the more I feel that Yorick cannot win. And you can cover him in the side lane mid game, which is his whole shtick. You do his job, but better, I feel. It's really annoying to fight into Yorick, but it's not hard. You go Steel Caps if he goes Lethality. If he goes Triforce, you still go Steel Caps. You can go Rift Maker, you can go Nashers. You're gonna beat this guy. If you really want to focus on the 1v1, go Ignite, but honestly, you should probably just always go Ghost. So when he summons Maiden, you Ghost towards him, and then the second he presses W on top of you, you dash through the wall with your E, and then you run away from the Maiden far enough to where it's not going to sap your life anymore. And then when it comes back, you press W, so now Maiden can't auto-attack you, and you're just slowly, honestly not even slowly, you're quickly killing him. Because I've seen so many Yorks go like Arcane Comet TP Ignite for lane dominance, but he just can't dominate Gwen in the laning phase, even with Maiden. This is probably the biggest opinion change I've had, because this just feels so good to me now. I feel so much more confident into this character than I did at the start of the year. Is Cassante the last one? Let's look over one last time real quick before we get to him. Almost done. You guys can see my mouse and just see me slowly going down. PSA, I guess, about Briar. Gwen is designed to beat Briar. If she ults you, you can dash away from her while she's berserked and then press W. Briar forgets you're there on the screen and she'll run away from you. It's really, really funny. And then you run Oblivion Orb. I have a TikTok where I killed a 20 kill Briar with 4 kills on myself while she was 4 items. Fiddle top? No. Okay, Cassante. I used to think this was a very annoying tank matchup, but like, it's just this. You are designed to beat him. You can't go whatever runes you want, like these 3 guys, but you go standard setup. Every time you see Cassante press Q, you press Q on him. You do Q, E forward, auto attack, and then you walk away. He might Q you back, but you're always going to win this trade with 4 Q stacks. When he goes all out, what you can do is you can auto attack him, Q stack. If you have your ulti, throw it behind you, because Cassante is going to W and end up behind you, and you're just going to always win this matchup. Cassante cannot win, no matter what he builds, no matter what he takes. He went Jack shows into me the other day, like a Cassante player. I had Fiendish Codex, and I solo killed him. Yasuo? No, Yasuo's not a top laner. His win wall is like really annoying against Needles, but he's not a top laner. I'm not going to rank him because I never played against him top before. That should be all of the top lane matchups. So for those that watched the entire matchup guide on YouTube, thank you all for watching. Like, sub, comment. If you ever want to see me live, twitch.tv/KillerG, and have a great day.